What's up? I'm Johnny Phantom, and I'm here to talk today about Harry Potter. If you're new here, I talk about all things fandom, such as Harry Potter, Disney, Star Wars, One Piece, Dragon Ball, whatever. I talk about theories, discussions, and just whatever else sometimes. So make sure you like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get started. So today we're talking about the prophecy itself. The prophecy states, the one with the power to vanquish the Dark Lord approaches, born to those who have thrice defied him, born as the 7th month dies, and the Dark Lord will mark him as his equal, but he will have the power of the Dark Lord knows not, and either must die at the hand of the other, for neither can live while the other survives. The one with the power to vanquish the Dark Lord will be born as the 7th month dies. So we know that Voldemort took the prophecy and attacked Harry, killed Lily and James, and marked Harry as his equal because he thought the prophecy had to deal with Harry. However, we do know that it also could have been somebody else. Dumbledore even states that it could have been Neville, because Neville and Harry were both born at the end of July as the 7th month dies, and both their parents were members of the Order of Phoenix, so both parents could have denied Voldemort 3 times. However, when Professor Snape, well, at this time I don't think it was Professor, when Severus Snape heard part of the prophecy, he told Voldemort, and Voldemort heard that misinformation, and Snape said that he knows of the Potters and how Harry was born at the end of July. So Voldemort attacked the Potters. But what if he chose Neville and the Longbottoms to attack? How would the story differ? Now, this has been a discussion that's been going on for a long time. I've even thought about it for quite a while. And when I was finally ready to sit down and start making this video right here, Super Common Brothers beat me to it. They posted a video about what would happen if Voldemort chose the Longbottoms, and they're doing a 7-part video, I assume, post a video week to week about how each book is different. So I'm making this video as a 2-parter. I'm going to try to get all the information that I think is possible in these 2 videos and try to post it out before they finish their series. That's the hope. But I guess we'll see how long this session is. Anyway, let's get into the video and talk about what would happen if Voldemort chose the Longbottoms instead of the Potters. So, we do know that, in the movie, in the books, Snape is the one to tell Voldemort. But let's say he got some mixed information and he figured, okay, there's 2 things they can do. Let's go after the Longbottoms, because maybe he thought Longbottom was more of a threat. Who knows? So hypothetically, let's just say Longbottoms are under attack. We do know that Dumbledore put the Fidelius charm on the Potters. We can assume that he also put the Fidelius charm on the Longbottoms, and he could have protected, let's say Dumbledore probably protected both families, so he would protect the Potters and the Longbottoms. And I would assume that Dumbledore gave the Potters the same information. He said, I will be your secret keeper, and they said, no, we want to trust Sirius, and then Sirius entrusted Peter, and that still happens. But we'll get back to that in a moment. So we can assume that Dumbledore gave the same option to the Longbottoms, saying, hey, I will be the secret keeper, so you guys are protected. So Voldemort knows this and knows he can't attack Dumbledore, because you can't give up a secret even if it's forced out of you, or if you kill him, then the secret dies with him. So Voldemort can't get to the Longbombs. So he doesn't attack the Longbombs the same way he attacks the Potters. He doesn't go in and kill his parents. He doesn't attack them. However, I think what would happen is Bellatrix would eventually go and try to torture the Potters, because maybe the Potters may have some information about the Longbottoms. Voldemort doesn't know exactly. So he sends Death Eaters out to torture the Potters, because he fears Neville, not the Potters. So Peter Pettigrew does give the information about the whereabouts of the Potters. In this scenario, Bellatrix and Crouch will go and torture the Potters the same way the Longbombs are tortured, with the Cruciatus Curse. So Harry Potter's parents are going to end up in St. Mungo's the same way Longbomb's parents did. However, in this scenario, Sirius Black is still around. I would assume Sirius Black was somewhat more of a presence at this point, and maybe, let's say, Peter Pettigrew was captured and not tried to kill or frame Sirius Black for the murder of Harry Potter's parents, because they weren't murdered. They were just on a cruise, because I know that Bellatrix and Crouch and them got sent to Azkaban. I don't think they would have given up Peter Pettigrew in that same way, but let's say Peter Pettigrew also got captured by Sirius Black and was taken away, because he didn't want to kill him because he didn't give up that, but maybe he just wanted to torture him a little bit. So in this scenario, like Longbottom's grandmother raised Longbottom, Neville, Sirius is going to raise Harry in the same type of situation. So the fact that Voldemort is too afraid to attack the Longbombs at the moment, he doesn't mark him as equal just yet. And he knows that he can't do anything, and he can't, begin his power until that situation is taken care of. So he's going to bide his time. Now, before I get to this, I have been thinking about this portion for a while, and I had an idea. I was going to say, about the Voldemort actually attacking, but actually watching the Super Coen Brothers video kind of changed my plan a little bit, because it does make more sense the way they said it. Because Dumbledore is definitely the secret keeper, and you can't get the information out of Dumbledore, so Longbombs are safe for now. So it's going to be a little different, much different of a story. Definitely a different impact for Neville moving on through the story. So Voldemort's going to bide his time. He's going to sit back and hide still and build his army. He's not going to, do what he did and vanish and, control the body. So I have a feeling he may have a plan, though. Some of his followers, such as Lucius Malfoy and stuff like that, are still going to get away from him and still be that presence and that power, and be able to control the ministry and stuff from within. So certain followers definitely did get arrested. Certain followers definitely said, hey, we're going to do this and say it was an Imperius curse so that we could live our lives and bide our time. With that being said, the first book, Sorcerer's Stone, technically doesn't happen, because there's no need for him to get the Sorcerer's Stone to, basically bring his body back to life. However, he may still want the Sorcerer's Stone to become immortal. He may think that getting the Sorcerer's Stone will make him immortal, so he could defeat Neville in the future. Voldemort's very, superstitious down to the T of this prophecy. He's very stubborn. So Voldemort has to wait until Neville goes to school in order to make his first attack. So the first year comes around, Neville goes to school. I doubt he knows anything about the prophecy, and his parents may have not told him what's going on, but his parents do feel that he's safe in the school with Dumbledore. Harry goes to school, still is a Gryffindor, still meets up with Ron and Hermione, they still become friends, still friends with Neville, sort of. Neville definitely is the same non-encouragey person himself, but that's going to change and a lot faster this time around. It's kind of difficult to think about, though, because if the Dark Lord didn't fall at that point when it was supposed to, how would these events be taking place? Dumbledore may have a background, but Harry and Neville, and they're not going to know what happened. They may hear stories from their parents about the Dark Lord and how he just disappeared, and they don't know what happened to him. He's biding his time. Dumbledore knows that he's probably going to wait. Now, Voldemort could still go into hiding in Albania, which means he could still meet up with Professor Quirrell. He could definitely put the Imperius Curse on Professor Quirrell and basically, take him in as follower and say, go to school, be the teacher, and basically be a spy on Neville. And then possibly there could be a way where Quirrell can sneak Voldemort in to attack. Who knows? Or somehow get Neville away to attack. I don't know what the plan would be. So, let's say hypothetically the Sorcerer's Stone is still in Dumbledore's possession and still being hidden from Voldemort. Voldemort catches wind of this and wants Professor Quirrell to steal it for him so he could do that. Hermione, Harry, and Ron are still questionable about Snape because the events are still going to happen the same way. However, Neville does see the dog in the books, not the movies. So Neville is going to be a part of this, and I have a feeling when it comes time to get the stone. So I assume that Harry still has the Invisibility Cloak. Neville's not going to get it because it passed down from Harry's father James, and James from his father, so on and so forth. And you can trace that all the way back to the Peveril brothers. So Harry Potter is a descendant of the Peverils. So I assume Sirius is actually going to give it to him instead of Dumbledore, saying, hey, this was your father's. He might think you want it. Maybe Dumbledore reached out to Sirius, but hey, you got that Invisibility Cloak? Or, no, I'm wrong. Dumbledore has the Invisibility Cloak because he bought it from James a while ago. So he gave it to him and said, hey, this was your father's. I'm passing it on to you. Sirius may not even know where it is. So they're trying to do some research, just like they did in the restriction section about Nicholas Flamel. But this time, I feel like Neville may want to try to listen in. He was a little scared and doesn't want to get in trouble like normal. So that's going to change a little bit, something later, but we'll get to that. Neville Harry was going to find the Mirror of Erised first. Dumbledore is going to suggest, because Harry doesn't understand it, because he doesn't see his parents anymore. He might see his parents in a different way. He might see, them obviously with him and not in St. Mungo's, but it's not going to be the same effect. So Dumbledore may suggest bring Neville around, let Neville see the mirror. Obviously, Neville is not going to see his parents like Harry originally did, because his parents are still alive. So what could Neville see that would make him understand how the mirror works? Let me think about this for a second, and let's take a quick word from our sponsor, Rep Sports. Rep Sports is the leading sports supplement company out there. And I say leading because they have won a ton of awards, such as Clash of Clans, for their Raze energy drink, which is my favorite product that I buy from them all the time. It keeps me going throughout the day. I have these every morning instead of coffee. Coffee sucks. Just saying. This one is called Rainbow. It is... I can't even describe the flavor. It's just fantastic. They have a ton of great flavors out there. So definitely go check them out. Repsports.com. That's REPP sports.com. Use coupon code JohnnyHuey. Save yourself 15% off your order. Not only do they have energy drinks, they also have dietary pills. They also have caffeinated pills. They also have pre-workout mix, after workout mix, and they have hydrating powder. You put in a bottle of water, it keeps you hydrated all day. They also have pancakes. That's right, they have pancakes. They have protein pancakes that you can make for breakfast. They have great flavors like chocolate chip or funfetti. Funfetti. Who doesn't want a funfetti pancake for breakfast? Dude, count me in. So right now, go to Rep Sports. That's REPP sports.com. Use coupon code JohnnyHuey. Save yourself 15% off. Now that's a savings. And yeah, let's get back to the video. So what possibly could Neville see in the Mirror of Erised in order to help him understand how it actually works? Maybe Neville could see himself being more brave. Somehow he sees himself staying there with the Sword of Gryffindor, not knowing what the Sword of Gryffindor even is at this point, but he could be sitting there like, just being proud, a proud, honorable Gryffindor, and seeing himself in that presence makes him feel more courageable. So the story goes on, and we do see that they believe that Snape is the one that's going to break into the chamber on the third floor corridor. Just a quick little side note. Fluffy is guarding a trapdoor in the third floor corridor. What possibly do they use that third floor corridor any other time of the year, or any other year before or after? Do they use that corridor? What is even down that corridor? Because all we see is when they open the door, Fluffy staying over a trapdoor. There's a trapdoor built in that third floor corridor, and it just goes down to a big empty chasm of this big wide open chamber. A hidden chamber on the third floor. Enough! A hidden chamber just in the third floor. It's just... What if all four founders had their own little secret chambers? You have the Chamber of Secrets, which is Salvador Slytherin's. Let's say the kitchen is Hufflepuff's. She made a secret little chamber down there, and that's like her, her kitchen is their pride and joy. I don't know what else to do. It's just That's one thing I think of Hufflepuff. Anyway, and then let's assume that Dumbledore's office, the headmaster's office, is Gryffindor's, because you have the lion knocker on the door, and you have the Griffin statue guarding the entrance to the chamber, and you have to have the password to get past the Griffin to go into the chamber. So what if the chamber in the third floor corridor, with all this cool magical stuff in it, is Ravenclaw's? I don't know, whatever. Side note, moving on. Let's get back to the story. So, at this point in the books and the movie, Harry, Ron, and Hermione are sneaking through Fluffy to get to the trap door, and Neville stands in the way because he doesn't want them to get in trouble. He says, "No, you're not sneaking out. I'm going to stop you. You're going to get us in trouble again." He builds up his courage at that point. However, in this story, Neville's going to go with them because this affects Neville just as much as it affects Harry, Ron, and Hermione. So, all four of them are going to sneak into the chamber and go through the task just the same. Whereas, instead of Harry going through the final flame of the potions portion, we're going to have Neville going through. So, we have the Devil's Snare. They get past that, no problem. They have the keys. They get past that, no problem. The chessboard, right? Or the troll. The troll's already knocked out. Then we have the chessboard. Ron is going to, stay back with that. He's fine. Harry is going to stay with Ron in the chessboard, and Hermione's going to take Neville forward. And when they get to the point where Neville has to go through the flame, Hermione's going to give him words of encouragement to continue forward into the flame. And look, it's fine. You got this. It's only enough for you. I can't go with you. You got this, Neville. You are a Gryffindor. You have courage. Go for it. And Neville's going to go in, see Professor Quirrell, and not understand what's going on. Obviously, the events are going to be a little different here because Voldemort is not there, maybe? So we find out that Quirrell is trying to get the stone. He forces Neville to get the stone for him. Voldemort's nowhere to be found because he assumes Quirrell can just steal the stone and bring it to him. He doesn't need to be present in his head because he has his own body. He could see into his mind maybe, but that's about it. So Neville figures out how to get the stone. But at that point, where he tries to fight off Quirrell and stand his own ground, that's when Dumbledore is going to come in and save the day. Because Hermione was to get back to Ron and Harry, and they were to get back up and find Dumbledore so Dumbledore can save them, just like he did in the original story, except Neville doesn't pass out the same way, or doesn't kill Quirrell. So Quirrell gets sent to Azkaban, and the stone is destroyed, just like the original story. So moving on to the next book, Chamber of Secrets is going to be a very tough one because Harry doesn't speak Parseltongue anymore. Neither does Neville, because Neville was never attacked in order to speak the Parseltongue the same way. However, what if this is the point where he is attacked? Voldemort had enough. He knows the stone is destroyed, and he knows he has attacked Neville. And there's a part where Neville can be attacked on the train ride back home. Voldemort knows where the school is. He's been to school. He went to school. He knows how to do the train. He knows all that stuff. And I feel like Voldemort would do it in the general public because he just has the fears of everybody. People are afraid of him. So they're back on the train, come back from the first year, and Voldemort wants to attack. However, we do know that there's probably going to be protection around him because Dumbledore knows, and he has a still good connection with the Ministry and the Aurors and stuff like that. So maybe get a chance to see Moody like early on, as an Auror, or some other Aurors present in this story who are going to protect them, fight off the Death Eaters to get back to the train station. For all we know, there could be some kind of battle in the way to kind of, but Voldemort realizes he can't do it here because of all the mess. So let's say he sneaks away and he's going to attack the Longbombs before they get home, because then the Fidelius charm is back into effect and he can't find them because the Fidelius charm isn't on a particular person, it's on a location that he can't find their home. It's on an address. At least that's the only thing we've seen it as. I doubt you could put a Fidelius charm on a person so you can't see that person. I wonder if you could do that. Put a Fidelius charm on yourself and you just be like invisible. Like, only one person, you tell somebody the secret and they say, hey, look, it's me, you know me. And maybe they just can't see you. Like, that'd be crazy. Anyway, he's going to attack them before they get home. And in this case, Neville already knows the wizarding world, so he's not going to have to be brought up by muggles like Harry did. But his mother is going to defend him the same way, with the love. The magic that the Dark Lord knows not, which is love. So he's going to protect him. The curse is going to be rebounded, and same thing's going to happen. He's going to be shunned away, and Dark Lord is vanquished. Neville becomes a hero, so he's like, this is great. His courage is back up. He's all good. He's gonna have a scar. It's a little different getting this done as a young boy instead of a baby, but same way. So in this scenario, because he's already in the world, his grandmother's going to take over and raising him. So now we move on to the Chamber of Secrets. Same scenario happening. Ginny gets the diary from Lucius Malfoy in the bookstore. I forget the name of the bookstore. Comment down below the bookstore, because I'm an idiot. Borden book? Whatever. And same chain of events. The Chamber of Secrets open, talk about the air, and people still don't know who it is until Neville starts hearing voices and doesn't know what it is. But when you get to the dueling platform, you have Draco fighting Neville, and Draco does the snake thing. And Neville panics and somehow communicates with the snake the same way Harry did. But Harry just like, yeah, I can talk to snakes. But Neville doesn't know he can talk to snakes. Maybe the snake said something to him. He's like, I can understand you. So that power was still like in him, the same way that was in Harry. So now Neville is to be feared as the heir of Slytherin. So the same way, chain of events going through, except we have the quartet instead of the trio saving the day. And same thing, Hermione gets attacked by the basilisk. She's petrified. Figures out they're using the pipes. They go to the forest. Except, I need to backtrack here. I feel like Dobby would go to Neville instead of Harry because of the whole thing about not go to school because he still knows. So would Dobby still block the corridor from Neville from getting through? Okay, let's assume this. Let's backtrack a little bit here before all those other events happen. We get to the train station. Neville meets up with Harry and Ron at the train station before they go into platform 9 3/4. The rest of the family goes through. Neville's in there. Neville's gran is walking with Miss Weasley. They go through, and she's like, "I'll see you on the other side." So Neville, Ron, and Harry try to go through the barrier, and they're stopped. Same way, they take Mr. Weasley's car and drive it in, except it's 3 of them instead of 2 of them, and the whole thing happens there. So we still have the Fort Anglia. We need that, especially for later on. And Neville gets the howler from his grandmother about the car, as well as Ron about the car. So they both get howlers. So you have 2 howlers screaming at Neville and Ron. It's kind of funny. And Neville's grandmother's a little more scarier. Yeah. Anyway, we go through the forest to the spider, except it's Ron, Harry, Neville, and Fang. Go see Erised, and the Fort Anglia saves them, brings them by the forest and everything else. They find the chamber's secrets. Neville, has a lot of courage. They also have, obviously, Professor Lockhart with them, who is just awestruck. Ron's wand is still busted because he still has a hand-me-down wand. And the same events still happen, except Harry and Ron are going to go into... Ron's going to stay with Lockhart, as usual. Neville and Harry are going to go double-team the Chamber of Secrets and find Ginny. Harry's going to run over, pick up Ginny, make sure he's okay, and then we see how the whole events. Why this is all going on, why Neville was fighting the basilisk, same way Fox comes down with the sword, the hat, everything. Harry is going to pull Ginny out into safety and witness this. And then out of great courage and instinct, after Neville gets bit by the basilisk, he takes the fang and stabs the diary and destroying that Horcrux. And the day is saved. And that is book 2. This movie is blah, blah, blah. So we go back for the summer holiday, and Neville's courage definitely rose some, and he knows that Voldemort is after him. Except this time, Tom Riddle would have said, literally, last summer, my future self tried to kill you. How is it you, this young kid, first year of Hogwarts, was able to take down the Dark Lord? What's going on? So, yeah. Moving on to book 3. This one's going to be a little tough just because I got to think about it a little more. Because we don't have the prisoner to save in the tower. Pettigrew might have... Prophecy still could work. Because one rule about doing these videos where we discuss what if scenarios, prophecies have to stay the same. And there's another prophecy in the 3rd book that has to stay the same. So at least for Voldemort's sake, at least he's not in the shadows as a being and having to survive using snakes and rats and stuff like that for 14 years, which is only a year. Yeah. Anyway, that's book 1 and book 2. This video is longer than I thought it was going to be, so I may have to do a third part, but we'll see. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. And before you go, check out my merch store down below. Link is in the description, and you can see some stuff right there. Definitely go check out the merch. I got a ton of cool designs for you. And hit that join button because I have content on here just for you. If you hit the join button, you get videos before I release them. You get videos that are just for you. No one else can see them. Just you. Yeah, just you. And I'm working on getting merch that is only available for you if you hit that join button or go to my Patreon page. Links in the description down below. I'll see you guys next time. Before you go, make sure you check out this video right here where I talked about what if Draco was in Gryffindor. That was hefty. That was a hell of a video trying to figure out how to do. So go check it out and check out this video down here where I talk about how Harry should not have been able to see the Thestral. See you guys next time.